You won't believe it. He risked his career by hooking up this woman to a breathing machine and running a bunch of tests to find the cause of her. Since this heart is infected, let's clean it up. Fortunately, the MRI showed a cyst in her gallbladder. House suspected she had a parasite and ordered his team to use 20 times the medication for her treatment. He was aiming to get that heart back on track, but shockingly, not only did she not improve, her heart actually got worse. Therefore, House decided to split up and each tackle this mystery separately. Foreman stayed in the hospital scanning. Camilla went to the woman's workplace for a surprise investigation, while he went to her house on a mystery hunt only to find. Now, Camilla found a bunch of hot photos on the woman's desk, and the worst news was, with half a heart working, an old man fainted from lack of oxygen. Heart transplant needed within an hour, or brain death is permanent. Meanwhile, looking at the woman's collection, House took a bold guess and immediately ordered a blood test. Lo and behold, he was right, she had gonorrhea. But treating it would take at least 6 hours, and by then, the old man would probably be pushing daisies. House requested the surgery without hesitation, promising to take full responsibility if the old man woke up in the hospital. Thankfully, the surgery succeeded. The old man revived unbelievable. When told of gonorrhea, he said, "Whatever." Girl, ready to soar, suddenly had a calf cramp and desperately looked to her mom for help. But Mom, instead of helping, was impatiently pushing her to keep climbing. The girl tried to hang in there. Her body had other plans and she was soon dangling in the air, pleading with her mom to let her down. Little did she know her mother was staring bewilderedly at her own hand, as her muscles seemed to have short-circuited. She could only helplessly watch the rope slip from her hand, and the girl fell with a thud. Seeing her mother act strange, she asked, "What's going on?" But Mom was at a loss for words. Mom knew she had to go to the hospital, but oddly, the results showed that everything from her arm to her chest was normal. House suspected her trick, told staff to discharge her, but as they completed papers, she claimed vision plummeting. Before anyone could react, she was completely blind. The doctor tried shining a flashlight, only to discover she was telling the truth. The sudden paralysis and blindness made House realize if this kept up, she might not live to see tomorrow. In the midst of despair, the girl shared a crucial clue: her stepmother was a total vixen, changing boyfriends like she was changing socks. To halt worsening, House immediately treated her preventively, but the meds failed, adding new symptoms and worsening her breath. Worsening happened so fast that while the doctors were checking, her lymph nodes had swollen up and blocked her airway. Doctors performed emergency intubation. Alcohol shrank the blockage, but no one could guarantee her survival through another episode. House decided to check her lungs first, and everything seemed normal. But as soon as they pulled out the tube, her eye started bleeding. A closer inspection revealed her entire eyeball was a bloody mess, and the doctors were freaked out. After some blood work, they discovered her platelet count had plummeted. If they didn't find out why immediately, she could bleed out completely. The doctors had to go with the flow and perform a bone marrow biopsy. But things got even stranger. When they cut into her buttocks to drill a hole, the drill wouldn't budge. Seriously? Her bones were harder than the drill. The doctors had to rescan and found them hardening continuously. This was classic bone petrification syndrome. The catch? The cause was untreatable unless it was breast cancer. But breast cancer was off the table for her, as her mom had died from it and she had a mastectomy a decade ago. The doctor had confirmed this after her successful surgery, so he was at risk of giving up and letting her suffer. But just as House was about to leave, he spotted Wilson's reindeer hat and had a light bulb moment. He rushed back to the woman. She injected the woman with risperidone, then began a detailed search inch by inch behind the knee joint and found a pocket. Telling the woman she was saved, she jabbed the syringe into the pocket and extracted some white liquid, injecting it into the girl's mouth, making her gag terribly. But House claimed it was the demon inside her, revealing she had breast cancer since when she was developing. Breast tissue could cover much of her body. As the fetus grew, the breast tissue typically retracts to the chest area, but occasionally, it can linger in other places. Clearly, the pouch in her knee was breast tissue, which ultimately caused all her symptoms. If they could remove the tumor and follow up with chemotherapy, she could be back to normal. And the little kitty merely sneezed at the nearby doctor, panicking. Instead of helping, the doctor intentionally splashed her with ice water to worsen her condition. because shortening the illness was the only way to completely heal her within 5 days for the bone marrow transplant. However, the boy showed symptoms of a heart infection that usually takes a month to recover from. Sadly, the brother wouldn't survive more than 5 days. To save him, House suggested a risky path, replacing his heart valve with an artificial one. The upside: clearing the infection to save his brother. The downside: never exercising again to avoid bleeding out. The parents were totally taken aback by this news. Taking the doctor's advice, they ultimately chose to prioritize the family. Just as they opened up the little boy's chest, the doctors discovered an unsettling truth: it was not an infection, but fibrous tissue. While the boy didn't need surgery anymore, the doctors had to recheck for infection. Meanwhile, the older brother had less than 4 days left. Things were getting urgent. If you enjoy this style, please remember to subscribe to our channel. Your support is appreciated.